Talk about total job benefits. If you're getting benefits from your job, what would be some things that they might consider a benefit to you?
Health insurance.
Health insurance. What'd you say now? Okay, maybe food. At least maybe you get something off of your food. So if you work at a restaurant, Trey gets pizzas all the time, right? Okay. What else? Do we have to, I still haven't figured out, do we need a shirt at the parlor? And you just get them? Okay, so that's a benefit. Okay, but you get the first one, right? What else? What else could be considered a benefit that your company would give to you as an advantage to you? Okay, parking's a really good one, right? We don't think about parking here because it's probably not that big of a deal, but in Chicago or something, instead of a parking pass, you might get a subway pass. Paid leave. Okay? Insurance. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie to you. If you have a job opportunity and one job gives you insurance and the other one doesn't, and this one that gave you insurance is telling you that you're not going to make $2,000 as much as this job, you see $2,000, take this job, the job that gives you insurance, take it and run with it. You'll make up $2,000 like that. An individual health insurance plan right now costs you $500 a month at the minimum, and it stinks to use. Meaning if you have to go to the doctor for anything, you're paying just about all of your doctor bill. So $2,000 is nothing. Okay? You want something that has a group insurance policy. All right? What else? As you see up here, like just said, paid holidays, sick leave. Okay? How are you going to do sick leave if you're the business person, right? Are you going to have where they get hours accumulated? I think Ethan talked about that a while back. Are you just going to, like here at school, we get, I think, 12 days a year. Okay? And then you can accumulate them. Can you accumulate them forever? Maybe, maybe not. I think we can only go for 60 days, or have 60 piled up. And then we just lose them. Okay? A car, maybe. A car would be huge. So my dad used to sell insurance, and his home office was in Cedar Rapids. But he worked out of his house. So they gave him a car. And he could use that car for even personal use. But that's a huge deal, right? If you think about the wear and tear that you put on your car, they pay for the gas too. Oh, that's a good one, right? So you think about right now, some of you that drive a long ways away, how long is it to home? 24 minutes. So you think about 24 minutes a day, that's one way. So we're talking 48 minutes every day. The wear and tear in your car, the gas. Think about if the school gave you something for that. Those of you that are from Granville. That'd be awesome, right? Yeah, right? That'd be awesome. We talked about uniforms, we talked about parking, discounts on merchandise. Anybody work at a place that sells something? Besides ice cream.
Actually, we have gift shop,
Oh, okay.
but we don't get
So like at
15%.
Shields or something, if you work for Shields, you might get 15% off. Okay? Maybe they have a workout facility. Okay? Maybe they help you with education and training. At school here, we get a certain amount of money every, I think, 2 or 3 years. Okay, to help with classes and stuff. All right? So, whatever you get is considered your benefit package. And they would present this to you when you're applying for the job. They would show you this package. Could be worth anywhere from 15 to 40%. That's a lot. Okay? When you're, again, taking into consideration your job offers, you should really sit down and look at this. So are these benefits worthwhile if you have a family of moving your kindergartner across the country in the middle of the school year? Is $15,000 worth ruining your kid's life? Is $25,000 worth moving your family across, and your wife's not going to work now because she doesn't have to, but now she doesn't have any friends? Gotta think about that stuff, okay? Those are hard decisions. Don't just see the money. Don't just see the money, okay? So, if you have your gross pay, what's my gross pay again? At the very beginning, before my taxes, plus employee benefits. So again, employee benefits is what we just talked about. These are called total job benefits. So again, you need to make sure that you understand this. Total job benefits is taking everything into consideration. Okay? So, let's get this all on one page so we can see it together. So, first example. Kirby makes $34,800 in gross pay while getting $2,784 for a pension, $1,892 for health insurance, $1,338 paid vacation, $2,000 in holidays, and parking for $425. What was his benefit package for the year? What is his total job benefits? So, do you see the two different questions? The first one, I'm just adding up what? My benefits, right? What is his benefit package? I'm taking these numbers and adding them together. Correct? And then the second one, what is his total job benefits? I would add on my $34,800. Everybody okay with that?
What's pension?
Well, so instead of them taking it out, they're giving you the money up front. If you decided to do it through the company, then they probably wouldn't give you that check. But then, if you decline their health insurance, they'll probably still give you some money that you could take elsewhere. Or if your wife got a better deal in her company, you could use that money for her.
What's pension?
Say it one more time.
What's pension?
My pension is like your retirement fund. So they would help you and make a little, like an IRA or something, a savings account, and they would just keep throwing money into there. And a lot of those times you can match that. So like at Galen, they put in whatever percent, we can match it up to a certain amount. So if the school puts in 5%, I can put in 5%. I'm getting 10% into that account every month. But it's like a save or a retirement fund in a sense. So instead of having hypers like the school districts for Iowa have, we would do that on our own. Okay. All right with that? So this is on page 59, A and B, if you want to look at this here. The first one's pretty much the exact same thing. The second one, they do it a little different. They just tell you what the benefit package was. So it says Lynn's gross pay was $28,089. Her benefits were 33% of her gross pay. What did Lynn make in benefits and what was her total job benefits? So how do I find out what my benefit package is worth? Times 0.33, and that's my benefits package. And then again, for the total job benefits, I would just add those two numbers together. Okay? Make sense? All right. Next part, then, I think this is the only other part, is net job benefits. So we talked about total job benefits, now we're talking about net job benefits. When they say net, you're talking about everything that you're going to consider throughout the process. So not only are your benefits, but now we're going to talk about job expenses. So what are expenses that you might have on the job?
Didn't give you your uniform, you had to buy it.
Exactly right. Your uniform or tools. Okay? union dues. We talked about a union the other day a little bit. What's a union?
It keeps you safe.
Okay, keep you safe for a bunch of workers to be united together on a front in case they're trying to screw you over.
Stick it to the man.
How would you pay for a union to, like, did the managers and stuff don't do that, do they? Like the bosses would.
There would be like a, kind of like a pot in case you wanted to sue the company. Then you could hire a lawyer out of that pot. So like whoever joined would give $10, a month or whatever, in case you got in trouble or something.
Yeah, shit.
Okay, there you go.
Shit.
You talked about uniforms, tools. What about licenses? What's that mean to you?
To get education for.
Okay, maybe education. If you're an electrician, you need a license to show that you can do those kind of things. So you might have to pay for some of that stuff. Travel expenses. It'd be huge, right, if you got that as a job benefit. So to figure out my net job benefits, I'm going to do the first part again, and it's still the same thing. Total job benefits are all of my benefits plus my gross pay. But now, the net, I have to subtract out my expenses. So I do exactly what we did in the first section. I'm just subtracting out any expenses for this part to get net job benefits. And again, that's important that you realize the wording. So this is on page 60 if you wanted to see it. Actually in the book. So Ben's job expenses were, he had to buy his uniform, he had to have a license. Professional dues, that would again be like if I joined a teacher association or something and I wanted to be a member of it. I'd have to pay dues for that. Travel, and then his job benefits was $56,102. So in this particular example, they already did what we did in the first two problems. They figured that number out. So basically, I'm going to take my $56,102 and I'm going to subtract out all those other numbers because these are my expenses and that'll get me my net job benefits. Make sense? You want to see the math? Okay. D is pretty much exactly the same thing. So the last thing that they talk about, I think in this section, is comparing. So this is, we kind of mentioned this just a little bit ago. Do not just fall into the money thing. Okay? You need to find something that you like. You need to find some place that you like. All right? Some of the small towns might actually have a higher salary because they need to get people there. Some smaller towns might not have as high of a salary because it's not as expensive to live there. All right? Are you okay with living in a town like Mobile, where there's only 1,500 people? That's all things that you got to think about. Are you good with moving to Chicago and having your son or daughter go to a high school that has 2,500 kids in it? Okay? In your job, do you have security? Is your job going to be able to handle this pandemic? Is it going to stay open even if everything else closes? All right, you got to take that into consideration. Do I have a chance to advance? Is there a way for me to get out the tree? Do you like the people that you work with? It's a huge thing. Okay? If you go to work every single day and you're miserable, it doesn't really matter how much money you make. No. Okay? And then again, your family. Is your son or daughter going to be happy with, like I said, not knowing everybody, not even in their own grade? Right?
That would suck.
You think about, you go to Omaha even. Omaha. A couple hours away. Omaha or Millard North has 625 kids in a class.
Oh, my goodness.
Would you like that?
There's a kid that like
A lot of people
lives right by my
actually
cabin, that's in my cousin's grade, my cousin goes to Omaha. My cousin had no idea
Who he was, right? Yeah,
They're in the same grade and things.
exactly.
That's some of the community.
Some of the community kids, like I talked to some of the community kids, they don't have to go to their class.
And there's only what?
There's only like 150 of them.
Only 150 in their class.
That's crazy.
So you think about that, but how annoying is it sometimes here, right? You do one little thing wrong and how many people know about it?
Everybody.
Everybody, right?
Instantly.
Okay? But at the same time,
They know.
you know, no offense, at the same time, your house burns down, how many people are in our school is going to come and help you? Probably a lot, right? We're not saying that there's bad people in Omaha. They're just not going to know you. So they're not going to, you know, that's not going to hurt as or be as close to the home. So there's advantages, right? Trust me, I know all about it. It's tough. But you got to make that decision. So again, is $5,000 worth your son or daughter being miserable every single day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, what you're saying or what you think about, especially as a young person, is the money's good, right? No offense, but if you had a child tomorrow, or, sorry, in 9 months from tomorrow, okay? You would probably want to pick that job that's worth $5,000 more right now, wouldn't you? Because you got to pay for, sorry to say it this way, it. At this time.
Got paid for it.
Right? That's the nuts and bolts of it. But in 10 years, when you have the same opportunity to maybe move home and make less money, is that what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So you got to take all that into consideration. Some of these problems that you're going to do in this section, they don't really have the family part of it or the heart part of it involved with it. Okay? It's all of these problems in the book are about money. And when they ask you to say what's better, they're always talking about the one that's worth more money. So don't just think about it that after this, but you got to take it into that consideration for today's assignment and the quiz and the test. So let's look at page 61, letter E, if you want to follow along in the book. Ted earned $41,000 in salary with a benefit package of 32.5% of his wages, and his expenses were $3,180. So does everybody see or understand what you would do for your net job benefits there? So I'm going to take 41,000 times 0.325. Whatever I get for an answer there, I add it back to 41,700. And then I subtract out 3,180. Agreed? The other job, so he's looking at a new job, it pays 45,000. So here, this is what I'm talking about right here. Just jumping out at you right here, it's almost $4,000. Don't jump that fast, right? Because look, 24% compared to 32.5%. That's a lot of percent. You know what I mean? You're talking about 8% job benefits. That's a big jump. And it's got more expenses. So, right off the bat, which one looks better? Well, if you just go by salary, yeah, the new job does. But I would say the old job is probably better. But we have to do the math. You want to do the math? So again, we do 24%, 0.24 times 45, minus 3,700. Okay? All right? Anybody want to see the math? Letter F's, the exact same thing. Okay? So, vocabulary words. You need to know what a benefit is. You need to know what your net job benefits are compared to your benefit package. Whenever they say net, you know that you have to subtract out your expenses also. Okay? So, you still got about almost 15 minutes if you want to